Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Simply Heard, the space between. I wanted to drop in with a short Thanksgiving episode, something gentle, grounding, and honest. Before anything else, I want to acknowledge the complicated truth beneath this holiday. Thanksgiving sits on top of a painful history for Indigenous people, a history of displacement, violence, and erasure that deserves more than a passing mention. And naming that truth also means recognizing the resilience and continued presence of Indigenous communities today. If this day feels layered for you, that makes sense. Gratitude and grief can coexist. Truth and tradition can sit in the same room. This space has room for both. Today, I want to talk about slowing down, mostly because it's a lesson I'm still learning, and we can easily get caught up in the hustle and bustle during a holiday. Recently, my mom and I had a conversation on the phone, and she gave me some feedback that I so appreciate. She said, "Hey, did you ever notice that you're talking really fast? And sometimes I have to rewind and re-listen to hear what you're saying." And she's right. I'm a fast talker. It feels really awkward right now to slow it down, to speak more slowly, to articulate the words. In the last episode, I said identity, and normally I'd say identity. And it makes a difference. So I'm taking that advice. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, this concept isn't foreign to me. Last year, around this time, give or take a week or so, I was reminded by someone to slow down. They said, sometimes we need these reminders to slow down. Sometimes we're going too fast and we miss things. And it was so comforting at the time. And somehow I forgot. I forgot to slow down. I get so caught up in getting from point A to point B. I lose track of time. I forget things. Oh, those of you who know me know I forget things. And what's interesting is as I'm talking about rushing, my speech quite literally quickened, got faster. And when I talk about intentionally slowing down my speech, I feel quieter, calmer, more connected to my body. I think that my heart rate actually slows down too, which makes me wonder, does my fast talking make other people feel anxious or on edge? It would be good to know, especially because of my occupation, being a therapist. I'm always open to feedback, even when it's hard to hear. We rush so much that we forget what actually matters. We forget the small things, the mug of tea, the quiet morning, the way someone looks at us with softness. We forget big things, what we value, who we care about, and how easily these moments can slip through our fingers. Sometimes we even forget ourselves. I didn't expect to get so tearful there. I guess I've been holding some stuff in. And I thought about deleting it, but that wouldn't be authentic. That wouldn't be genuine. That wouldn't be what this space is all about. And I know I'm not the only one who's had a really hard year. And at the same time, so much to feel grateful for. So many events that I can look back on and smile. And I think, how lucky am I to have been able to experience all of those joyful moments, even with all of the pain. I think about the lessons learned. And while it would have been less painful to have just matrixed it and downloaded it into my brain, this is the beauty of life. And I would choose this over just all of a sudden knowing something any day, because I get to experience all of it without the lows, the sadness, the angst, the grief. I couldn't appreciate the highs, the excitement, the joy, the love, and the wonder. And we choose things every day, knowing that one day it will end, that nothing lasts forever. We don't like to focus on it because it feels so depressing and sad. Yet all around us, life is beginning and ending. Relationships, jobs, the trees lose their leaves, snow falls, snow melts, and so goes the cycle. The other day, my tea bag tag said, "We can always start again." And I thought, yes, how does my tea bag know this is the message I needed to hear? This is the message that a lot of us need to hear. We don't have to carry around those old messages that we tell ourselves about who we are, those messages of being enough or of being worthy, or the shame of things that maybe we've done. Beginning again can look as simple as looking at something from a different perspective. It can look like acknowledging our wrongs or things that we have done that have hurt someone or gone against our values. It can look like saying sorry. It can look like speaking up. It can look like saying, "That's not for me anymore." Or quite literally, starting over, trying again, giving something another shot, or trying something different. Beginning again doesn't have to be a whole new identity adjustment. It can be pausing, slowing down, and just taking that breath, noticing urges to engage in old patterns of behavior and making a choice to stop doing that, making a choice to stay with yourself. And now I'm thinking about this ancient wisdom and reading tea leaves, and it has me smiling. And this reminds me of something that we say in dialectical behavior therapy, DBT for short. It's a saying that's simple yet profound. You never stand in the same river twice. The idea is this: the river is always moving, and so are we. Change is constant. Nothing stays exactly as it is. Not our routines, our relationships, our grief, our gratitude, or the people we love. We change. They change. The current shifts, whether we want it to or not. And instead of fighting that reality, there's something grounding about naming it, about accepting it. It helps us soften into what is rather than clinging to what was. It reminds us that every moment, every breath is new. And that means we get to respond differently. We get to grow differently. We get to begin again. So, wherever today finds you, joyful exhausted, overwhelmed, grateful, or all of the above, remember, you're not standing in the same river you were in last year, or last week, or even this morning. We are always changing. We get to begin again in the very next breath. So wherever you're listening from today, a busy kitchen, a quiet car ride, maybe you're stuck on I-95 in DC traveling to New York or wherever you're going, a walk where you're trying to catch your breath, here's your small invitation. Pause. Slow down. Let this moment be enough. What is one thing you're grateful for? Not because it's neat or polished, but because it's true. Hold that. And if today stirs up longing or grief or complicated belonging, you're not alone. Holidays can magnify the ache and the beauty all at once. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, truly. And may this season remind you that change is inevitable and beginnings are always available. Take care. Wishing you presence, warmth, and whatever pace you need today. I'm Dr. Jess Hayden, and you're listening to Simply Heard, The Space Between, a podcast produced by Simply Centered Psychological Services in Raleigh, North Carolina.